You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. It is your host, Brian Fullerton here, hanging with you guys, and good morning. Well, it is probably Friday, and that means that it is the last day of Equip Expo, and that means a lot of you guys are probably going to be hitting the road, driving back home or flying back home. For all of you guys that stayed back, that are just having a great week, hopefully turning revenue, getting your leaf cleanups maybe going, or your last couple of mows in, maybe planting some mums, or getting your burlap wrapping on, or probably doing what we're doing a lot of, which is bid commercial snow. Shout out to all you guys bidding commercial snow contracts, getting them at launchpreneuracademy.com if you guys need great commercial residential templates. We're all hands on deck for you guys with those. We're starting to see a lot of those sell and move, obviously. So thank you guys for the support there. But this time of year, it's just absolutely busy and a lot of great stuff going on. And really, I don't know any other way to say it. It's a lot of Forrest Gumping your way to the finish line. And it doesn't matter what your business, quote unquote, looks like. More than likely, here's the podcast for today that I was just thinking about with my wife, Liz, earlier. It's never going to be a perfect fit. It's never going to be a perfect business. It's never going to go exactly how you planned. And I'm not going to give this huge, grand, voluminous talk about having it all figured out, or life is always figured out, or business is always simple, or it's always a perfect scenario or a perfect Cinderella story, because it usually isn't. Now, I know that sounds probably pretty obvious, but what I just want to let you guys know is that if it's not perfect, let it be okay. And the reason I say that is because it's probably going to be choppy. It's probably going to be mucky. It's probably going to be frustrating as you guys grow your business and you tackle new levels of your business. I know this kind of seems pretty straightforward, but where am I coming from, or what's the whole context on this? Well, here's the whole conversation right now with my company. Liz and I don't know if you guys can relate on this, but we don't have a perfect looking business. We don't have a perfectly functioning business. There's still so many things that we need to work on, improve, and change. And I mean, I guess honestly, right? Ask the question out loud. Is there such thing as a perfect business? I would probably argue no. Are there great businesses? Yes. Are there excellent businesses? I'm sure. Good businesses? Plenty. Average businesses? A lot of them, right? And here's really the conversation. I told Liz the other day, I said, man, we're starting to do so many more commercial leaf cleanups. I just wish we had a dump trailer with a leaf box and a 37 horsepower Billy Goat debris loader versus having just a dump insert and an 18 horsepower Billy Goat debris loader. No, again, nothing against the 18 or nothing for the 37. It was just, hey, our clientele has changed a little bit the last 2-3 years. And although we're still pretty fine on capacity, we are starting to notice some choke points and some bottlenecks as we try to grow. So I'm like, man, I just wish we had a dump insert and we had sidewalls and a mesh tarp, the full leaf cleanup, right? That you see all your local lawn and landscape guys have in the fall. Or maybe have one of those big, aluminum dump beds with the leaf dragon or something, right? For the biggest of guys to have the huge commercial leaf setups. All right, that's fine too. Well, what happens though, if it's just you, maybe you got your F-250, you've got your utility trailer, and you got to figure out how to do a leaf cleanup. You have no dump insert. You have no dump box. At best, you've got your pickup truck bed, or you've got 10 bags of leaves, leaf cleanup bags that you can get from, Menards, Home Depot, Lowe's, Ace Hardware. And so you're like, what do I do about leaf cleanups? I want to make this leaf money for the next 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks of the season, but I just don't have the equipment for it. And I need to throw down what seems to be $5,000 to get to the next level with a powered bagger, a dump insert, building a leaf box, a debris loader. We're talking like $5,000 for $5,000 for the leaf cleanup box, $5,000 for the dump insert, I should say, $5,000 for the powered bagger, $5,000 for the debris loader, like $15,000. I don't know if I could sport that much money in general, let alone at the leaf cleanup season, taking this huge risk and gamble to get it all together. Well, does that ever sound like a a perfect scenario to you? Probably not. I know it doesn't for me. And so all you can do is just take tiny steps towards the finish line, right? It's never going to be a perfect business, but you have to start making progress towards it. I remember the first year we picked up a Xmark Laser Z X series that was in 2016, and we threw down for the powered bagger, and I actually got that 30-inch stand-on aerator at the time. It was like, I don't know, 20 some grand. It was like 16 or 18 with fleet. We saved a couple bucks, and financed the whole thing. It was, I don't know, $550 a month, whatever it was. And man, we were in high cotton, and all I remember is like, dude, we are now able to start vacuuming leaves. It sounds so simple. It sounds so dumb. It sounds so basic for an industry that does billions of dollars. And you got all these mega Goliath and mega monolith type companies out there, right? And they've got 10 crews and 10 leaf cleanups, or 50 crews, or 200 crews, or dump trucks and enclosed trailers galore. And I'm just out here squeaking by, getting my first little bagger 10 years into this thing. I'm like 29, 30 years old, whatever it was. And I'm like, dude, I feel like such a dork. I feel like such a loser. Like, I'm doing my best, but I feel like I'm so far behind. All right. So like that feeling, good, bad, or ugly, indifferent, true or false, doesn't make any difference. But what I did know is like, eventually, no matter what, I know I'm going to make a career out of this thing. I see what all the big guys are doing. Apparently, that's the most efficient way to do it. They're all using cab overs. They're all using these big leaf boxes. They all have the SLT trucks. They all have loaders. They all sell salt. They all have a salt bin. They all have a landscape supply yard. They all have a pole barn. They all have fleet trucks. They all have the same letters and logos. They all buy the same XL, XLT, trucks. They all have the same thing going on. If I'm going to probably make a career out of this thing, I should probably skate as fast as I can to the finish line and just do what they're doing. They're all using LMN. They're all using Aspire. They're all using some type of higher end software, not Jobber, right? And so I probably should get there. No indictment if you use Jobber. It's just, if I see one more Jobber ad from somebody pushing a $250,000 or less business, giving the sauce away, there is no sauce at that level, I'm going to lose my freaking mind. Okay. Ask anybody at any level, how are they making money without a budget? As somebody who had no idea what that meant 18 months ago, I will tell you there is just a different level of business when you freaking start running your life with a real company budget and having things broke down in front of you. And if you don't have something like that, I just literally don't know how people make it. And maybe that's why people don't make it, right? All right, let's shift gears back to having a perfect business. Like, you cannot just say forever, it's like the chicken or the egg, right? Like, what comes first? Making the investment, getting the work, making the investment. I don't know. Just all you have to do is continue to make moves. And it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be a brand new $4,500 Ultra Vac or a $5,000 vacuum that goes on your Ferris or your Wright or your John Deere, or pick your brand. It might mean you start with a Catch Pro from Ballard for $400, and then 2 years in, you find a power bagger because you kind of got enough leaf cleanups. You raked the entire world with tarps and rakes. I've been there. I have so many blisters and calluses from decades of doing this crap. The dumbest ways, the least efficient ways, the most obnoxious approaches that I just literally cannot even believe that we've made it this far. How did we make it this far? Like, my business was on life support in 2016. And then it finally started to grow a little bit because we finally started going into massive debt to get the nicer equipment because I didn't have the business. I didn't have the pricing. I didn't have the cash flow. I didn't have the business acumen. So I'm like, well, let's just go into debt and work hard. And somehow we were able to start digging ourselves out from that 60, 50, 80, 100 grand worth of debt, because we bought the new F-250 as well. That was $58,000. And we were finally able to start buying a plow truck and then a dump insert, and had the capacity. And then we were able to not only bag the leaves, but then dump the leaves. And then a year or two after that, in I honestly don't remember when we bought the debris loader from Billy Goat. That was a 2020, 21, maybe 2022 purchase. I don't even know. It's been a couple years now. Paid all that, all with our own cash, our own, YouTube. No, that was all. We still buy 99% of the stuff that's in our videos, just so anybody's clear. Like, yeah, we get a couple sponsorships once in a while. But, everything given into you. Dude, nothing like that has been given to us. What, a mower or two once in a while? If anybody's going to give me something, give me a $65,000 work truck, Blue Oval, hello, you guys out there? How big do we need to get a free truck? I don't know. I'm not there yet, obviously, because I'm not getting no damn free trucks. And I don't care about a free truck because I don't want everything for free. I want to earn it.
Ready, go! Get ready for the event of the year. L'Entrepreneur Academy Live 2024 is coming to Novi, Michigan, the weekend of November 2nd. Prepare for a high-energy day packed with expert sessions on cash flow management, business automation, client retention, marketing strategies, and so much more. Our powerhouse lineup of speakers includes Sam Rankin, Pat Murray, Ken Deemer, Brian Fullerton, Sam Gimbel, Mark Bradley, and Jeff Joyner. You'll connect with industry leaders, snag incredible giveaways, and skyrocket your business. Plus, don't miss our epic Friday night mixer for top-tier networking and fun. For those who want to enhance their experience, register for our exclusive Sunday Masterclass sessions on November 3rd featuring Jeff Joyner, Mark Bradley, and Sam Gimbel. These intensive 3-hour classes are limited to just 20 seats each, giving you personalized expert advice from the best in the business. Visit l'entrepreneuracademy.com to register and reserve your masterclass spot for an additional fee. Isn't it time you grew your business? Don't miss L'Entrepreneur Academy Live. There's a link in the show description.
I remember us buying the UltraVac, and it was awesome. I'm like, we can bag leaves. And some of you guys listening in, you like just bought a bagger, and you're like, oh my God, we're bagging leaves. Remember last year how many? I used to rake up, blow out the beds, and then rake up leaves. I mean, thousands of bags of leaves. Okay. Or we would dump them all curbside because my city would go through, usually for the first couple of weeks of November, and anything you could dump curbside, they would just pick up. So you guys would say like, hey, a leaf cleanup, let's say it's $350. I'd say, hey, $350 if you want to haul it away, or $325 if you want to just let me leave it curbside, and the city will pick it up usually twice a week. Oh, honey, just go ahead, leave it curbside. The city does pick it up. That's fine. And I'm like, thank you, Jesus, that you said that, because I can at least suck up the leaves and then dump them curbside, or rake them to the leaves and dump them curbside. But of course, what happens, it looks still a little trashy because the next day, of course, the wind freaking blows in November because there's no foliage. So the wind just blows really fast across the ground, even through the subdivisions. And all the leaves start going back in the front yard, and the homeowner calls, hey, can you kind of like retouch up the front yard? All those leaves you dumped that you said the city would pick up. Well, they didn't come last week. And so I got a bunch of leaves in the front yard. Yeah, Miss Sue. And we'll side discharge only one direction to the curb and just kind of like remulch up the leaves and shoot them all to the curb and then rake it up. And then the city would finally come, and then the city would look at the curb as you're trying to make friends in your city. The city would come by with the city trucks, and they would see like all these like pristine leaves curbside from folks using like little Ryobi leaf blowers or raking it to the curb. And then they see like minced up grass clipping leaves, clearly dumped out from a bagger system. And they knew my lawns and I knew them, and they would drive through the subs because they're always deadheading or pruning the city boulevards, or doing trash pickup, or touching up snow and plowing snow or whatever, right? And so the city like is driving through the same subs I'm in all the time, or they're fixing water meters or electrical lines or gas lines, or, spraying whatever the algae they need in the habitat, water ponds all over the different subdivisions we're in, right? And they would be like, really, dude? Like your commercial outfit sucking up leaves, dumping them curbside, waiting for us to come suck them up? I'm like, yeah, bro. That was a hefty leaf cleanup there. It's like 4 feet deep, 25 feet long, and they're from Boulevard, probably sucking up 5 yards of leaves or something. But other than that, we would try to blow the leaves in the backyard to the wood line and take as much from the front yard to the backyard to the wood line, if you guys know what I'm saying. And we just did the best we could. And it just makes me think, like, this time of year, I know, and this is the reason for the podcast, I know one of the most frustrating things is like growing into leaf cleanups because it's a small season. There is a lot of money to be made in it, not a lot of time to do it. And when you're just raking leaves or using a side catch pro, which is great for backyards, it sucks for like, volume of work. It's not like designed for it. It's designed to like maybe bag up a backyard that has a pool, or catch some grass clippings on the side, or maybe a homeowner, it's like, I don't know, an 1/8 yard capacity. I don't know. It's nothing much, but it's better than nothing, for $400 or $500 you can cash flow, versus a $4,500 bagger. You're like, do I finance that, or do I throw down $5,000 or $3,000 on a used one on Facebook Marketplace? Like, I get it, bro. Trust me. I get it. I am right there every single day. I'm like, man, that's a lot of money. But so is making $210 per a two-man team with the leaf removal rig per hour and $85 per man hour after that added to the site. And that's why most of our leaf cleanups take an hour, hour and a half, and it's about $350 to $550. If anybody's searching for rates, that's where we're at. It's about $210 per two-man team man hour with my leaf rig, our setup, and to make about 25 to 30% margin on our fall cleanups based on my numbers now from LMN. I used to quote $175 for a two-man team with our leaf rig setup, just to find the other day, as I'm starting to go through all my leaf cleanup templates, that we're at about $209 an hour. How do you know? How did I know? How did I not know? How did I know? I had my known your numbers calculator, got us at 95 cents on the dollar because we'd just be making stuff up before that. But now that we got the other last 5% dialed in with our budgeting tool and our budgeting estimation and our production rates via LMN, I know I'm at $209 an hour for me, for my company, for my overhead. Not you, not what you need to do. I'm telling you what I have to do, what I need to charge. Right? And so what's the difference of 25 plus 9 is $34 per hour, right? Our man hour rate's always been pretty fine, but $34 an hour for the overhead of the equipment. And I'm out there 30 hours a week of production. That's $900 a week times 4 weeks in a month. That's $3,600. Let's say we get another half month, another $1,800. That's what? $5,400 that I'm leaving on the table, not charging appropriately. And by the way, what's LMN? $300 a month? Just took care of my annual membership and was able to go buy a $1,500 something for my wife, a little bracelet or a little necklace, or give the guys a 3% bonus on $45,000 year salary, a little 3% end of year bonus for $1,500. Just because I knew my freaking numbers. Like, I don't know what else to say about all this stuff. We have podcasts on end, and I'm dialing it in. This is the kind of stuff that helps you make more money in your business, but you have to peel back layers. You have to get into the thick of it. This is, for me, it sucks. It's mentally fatiguing. It's financially fatiguing. I'm the last guy that wants to be doing invoicing, the last guy that wants to be doing numbers, the last guy doing back-end house work, if you will. I'd rather hire everybody to do all this. And I hope to have a phenomenal team. I've been growing my team, my financial team, for the macro of my life and finances for the last 5 years, since 2018. And I cannot wait to make some next right hires in 2025 and 2026 to be able to never have to pay attention to this stuff other again, other than to audit and monitor, what they're doing once in a while. But I can't fake it till you make it. You can't fake it to $1 million, right? Anybody can fake a Lambo. You can't fake a private jet. You can fake a $500,000 $1 million business. You are not going to fake a $5 million business. It just will eat itself alive like Pac-Man within 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. It just doesn't work that way. Right? So I have to learn all this stuff, take it on the chin, learn, figure it all out, make sure I'm understanding what the hell I'm talking about, because I want to be as transparent and honest with you guys and have integrity with everything that I'm sharing with you guys about what I'm doing, about how we're going through the same thick of it. And I don't want to BS anybody. So it sucks, but it's what I have to do. So because it sucks, or because it's what I have to do, even though it sucks, I'm going to do it anyway. And that sucks because that's just called being an adult. It's just called taking responsibility. And it sucks. Sometimes taking responsibility sucks. You're never going to have a perfect business because as soon as you get the debris loader, as soon as you get the dump truck, as soon as you get the power bagger, you're going to realize, I should have got the bigger engine on the mower. I should have got the bigger debris loader, the 37, not the 18. I should have got the 8-foot dump insert, not the 5.5. I should have got a 1-ton, F350 versus a 3/4 ton F250. You realize I should have got the brackets made different. I should have got the debris loader up front. I should have put the debris loader on the barn doors, the swing doors for the dump insert instead of up front. I should have did this. I should have did that. I should have an SLT going down the road and pile leaves into the side little dump hopper insert. That's a 4-yarder dump insert in the center of that thing. And I should be having a $120,000 SLT. You might realize, I wish I had a utility trailer set up so we could put all these baggers on it. I should have got an 18-foot trailer because I got a 7x16 thinking it'd be fine for 2 mowers or 3 stand-ons. But really, I need an 18-footer because I needed 2 mowers with 2 baggers, and I can only get 1 mower on with 1 bagger. And now I can't transport 2 bagged mowers. I should have got the 18-foot trailer, and I got a 16-foot, and I messed up there. Bro, that's everything everybody all day long in business. I don't know anybody that can perfectly say, here's a $5 million company, and we have $2 million in cash to get there, and then we're going to backfill with the exact perfect clients. It just doesn't work that way. So which comes first, the chicken or the egg? The equipment and the growth, or the growth and the equipment? The right equipment and the right business, or the right business, the right equipment? It's just going to be this continuous Frankenstein of buying and upgrading, trading in and trading out. And as soon as you upgrade and trade in and trade up and get something new, guess what's going to happen? A different client comes through, or a different customer comes through, or a different service, or a different something, or a different opportunity comes through. And now everything you have is not going to be great for the next thing. And it's just how fast you can pivot, how fast you can adapt, how fast can you change versus the other guy that's just frustrated about who moved my cheese. And that was a classic book that came out in the 2000s. It's worth a read and worth a reeval if you guys haven't listened to it or read it recently. But that's the whole thing. You figure something out and something else changes. Somebody changes something in the economy. Somebody changes the financing rates. You're like, we used to buy trucks all day long for 50 and at 2.5 rate. And now they're 65,000 with a 7 no. I'm out of business. No, dude, like just figure out how to make the new scenario work. I wish I could say it was easy. I wish I could say that it was fair. That's a word that my daughter started to use in the last month. It's not fair. Usually accompanied by either a smashing of her hand on the couch or her foot stomping on the ground. It's not fair. Boom. And I'm like, who told you it was supposed to be fair? Where did you even learn that statement? I don't say that. I don't think my wife says it. It's got to be a grandma or something like that, because Liz and I don't say that because we both know life is not fair. Life has never been fair for either of us. We have had the wildest set of cards given to us. But you know what? Even if we have the wildest set of hands, we still know how to make a straight or a flush. We might not get 4 of a kind, or we might not get a full house, but at least we can get a flush. All right, it's the best you can do sometimes. And for some of you guys that were, complaining or struggling, I totally empathize. I totally get it. Do you know how many snow blowing of driveways I've done? Dude, I used to have 40 residentials. I'd have a Toro 721. I had a backup 518, or I had a backup MTD 4.5 horsepower that I used to get at Meyer. One single stage snowblower. I used to have these 2 snowblowers. I have a 721, my mule, my commercial zero turn version of my little snowblower. And I would go out there and I would snowblow 40 driveways a night, 10 times a year back when it snowed, for 10 to 12 years before I ever got a plow truck, before I ever had any money, before I even got a brain cell to think, hey, dipstick, you could go and buy a $60,000 plow truck. I used to chunk ice at the end of the driveway after the city plows come through. I used to throw ice melt down because I had no other chance. I used to ask neighbors, hey, that had the 2-stage, could you just hit this for me? I'm the poor sap loser lawn care kid just trying to figure out life. I got no money, no nothing. I remember the most breaking, wrenching moment of my life. I was doing a driveway with snow blowers. The city came through, plowed the streets. There's a guy plowing the driveway next to me. And I know the company local, and that's why they'll always burn in hell for this. It's just how it worked. And I was like, hey, can you just hit the driveway, the 3 inches of ice and slush at the end? Just do one scrape for me. I'll give you $20, dude. I'm making 40. I'm making a killing on this driveway. I'll split it with you. Can you just hit the slush? And the guy goes, no, man, you're on your own. And I just remember the light driving away, and then it hooked left off of Wildwood on Blue Heron Lane. And I'm just seeing it go left on the beach nut. And I'm like, you see a little flashing light dissipate, then gone. And I'm like, fucking hate this. And I'm out there just sucking wind. And will it ever get better? Will I ever have the right business, or ever have the right equipment, or ever have the right business acumen, or ever have the right contacts, or have the right clientele, or actually have enough money to ever go buy anything ever in my life in cash? And it sucked. And it sucked, and it sucked, and it sucked. And guess what? Fast forward 15, 17, 18 seasons in. We've paid cash for a bunch. We've got a couple things given to us. Praise the freaking Lord, from equipment because of social media stuff. A couple mowers here or there. Wow. You know what? We have been able to put a couple bucks in the bank and pay our guys a lot more. And I've also drained the bank account, building my barn and building my house. And we're going to put more money back in I've ebbed and flows. I've upped and down. I've highs and lows. Every single thing imaginable last 18 months, last 18 seasons even. And for me to tell you that it's now easy, that it's all done, that it's all fine, and I have every right answer, and we figured it all out, and we're just able to skate to the finish line, and it's all been easy, it's all hunky-dory, and we just pay cash for everything, and life is good, and we've got the best everything. You're crazy. You're crazy. It will never, knock on wood, I'm sure it'll get simpler, maybe more comfortable, but it's never going to be any easier, because business is like Brazilian business jiu-jitsu over here. It's just dodging, weaving, fighting, scratching, kicking, holding, locking, punching, everything. And it doesn't stop. It doesn't end. As soon as you get here, somebody moved the cheese, somebody changed something, whether it was your fault or not. And you have to adapt. You have to retriangulate. You have to reapproach. And it's going to be like that forever. It's going to be like that whether you work a 9 to 5 for the man or whether you're self-employed, whether you have a small business or whether you have a big business. It's just how it works. It's how it works with everything in life. New levels, new devils, right? And so I just want to say, like, dude, I'm with you. It's frustrating. It sucks. I hear you. I want to validate you. I am with you. Like, I feel the same way. I'm complaining about it. But we have to keep moving forward. Incremental growth, incremental improvements, incremental steps, micro improvements. I don't care if you went this week and you went from a side discharge mower to bagging with brown leaf bags from Ace Hardware, and you found that you can load your bags 50% faster by having the orange like leaf slide that goes in there, and you can now dump your side discharge Catch Pro in there, and your unload process is now 50% faster. And through a 6-week window, you find 10 extra production hours in the field at $125 to $175 per hour, and you're able to make $1,750 more dollars. And in 2 years, you're now able to buy a $3,500 leaf bagger in cash in 2 seasons. And then you can start ripping some better numbers and continue this micro compounding effect. Then I'm going to celebrate you with that and celebrate you for that. Maybe you go from a side Catch Pro to a powered bagger. Now you're able to start really like crushing it by bagging a bunch of leaves. That's a huge win. That's a huge improvement. Maybe you're able to throw down for 8, 9, 10 grand for a Skag Windstorm or a P2000 or X3000 or Z3000 from a Billy Goat. That's what we did. Micro improvement, micro efficiency, starting to make gains, starting to get some momentum. Maybe you went from an 18 horsepower debris loader to a 29 or a 37 horse, whether in a dump insert or a dump trailer. Bro, like micro improvement, micro gain, gaining momentum, all this stuff. Like, that's what I want to celebrate you on, because that's really what it is at the end of the day. There is no secret. You just finish here. It's not like that. It's never going to be like that. This is the whole process. This is what it actually looks like growing a business. 1 minute you got 10 grand, next minute you owe 10 grand. 1 minute you got 20 grand, next minute you owe 20 grand. 1 minute you're killing it, the next day it goes payroll. You're living high for 5 days and payroll goes out, then you feel broke for a week, then payroll comes in and it's like creaking up, and you start banking 2, 5, 10, 20, 2, 5, 10, 20, 2, 5, 10, 20. Then a truck, something happens and you owe 40. Bam, that sucks. 2, 5, 10, 20, 2, 5, 10, 20, 30, 5, 10, 20, 30, 5, 10, 20, 30. Bam, something else goes out. We need another rig to grow the business. We're out $75,000. What are we going to do? We need to make some hires. Oh, well, now while we're making hires and growing another rig, the other foreman got a job offer at Amazon making $75,000. Now we lost our foreman. It's like this for everything, all the time, all day. Makes us all wonder sometimes why we do it. Right? But dude, it's not going to change. This is just life. It doesn't matter if you're in the green industry or out. You're in real estate. You're like, oh, real estate's awesome. Then they got 7% rates and nobody can sell or refi a home. It's like that anywhere you go. So really, it just comes down to what's your attitude about it. For me, I'm as fired up as ever because it's most challenging as ever. It makes me want to grow more than ever, which makes me have to grow because I have no other choice. Because we've burned the boats. This is what we're doing for our career. Right? And so then your mindset goes from not from how do I get out of this and, maybe real estate or maybe I can do this to this is our industry. I'm going to figure it out. Other people have figured it out. I'm going to figure it out. Right? They figured it out. God's no respecter of persons. If he can run a company at 20% margin and get to 10, 20, 50 million, I can do the same thing. I don't maybe have the tools or the resources, the knowledge, or the experience, or the equipment, or the finances to do it. But damn well, I know that maybe that takes me an extra 2-3 years to catch up to where they started based on my hands versus their hand, or what they knew versus what I knew. Maybe they had a better upbringing. Who cares? How long am I going to use that for an excuse? Right? This is what it takes. It's small micro wins. It's small momentum building wins. This is how you build momentum in your business. This is how you build momentum in your life. I didn't build this house this year. We physically built the house the last 12, 18 months, but financially I built the house 4 or 5 years ago by building the wells that I needed to be able to have the water, quote unquote, to put the hoses in to fill up the pool financially. garden hoses, fire hoses, then sometimes some tanker trucks that came through. But it wasn't an overnight success on anything that we're doing. And we're still not. I'm so far behind of where I need to be. And anybody who's successful will tell you they're in the exact same boat. Because once you get there, you realize, man, knowing what I know now, I could do it 10 times faster. Now that I know what I know now, I believe that I could grow everything 10 times faster. And that's why I want to grow 10 times bigger. That's why I want to grow 10 times faster right now. I feel like we can. I know that we can. I believe that we can. And gosh darn it, we will. All right. This is just on my mind. I know you guys are dealing with frustrations like this. Just keep going. Just keep moving on. You can do this. You can do this. You can build a great business. You are building a great business. If you're listening to this, you have hope. And you know what, frankly, for all of us out there, sometimes all you need is hope. Okay? I believe in you guys. I love you. I know you can do it. I wish you guys nothing but the best. Let's keep going. Let's keep growing. Let's keep crushing this thing. Let's keep making it happen. Let's keep making micro wins, micro gains, micro improvements, and let's keep growing that momentum in our business and our life. And I promise you guys, you will get to the finish line. Over and out. Have a beautiful rest of the day. Appreciate you guys listening in. I just wanted to help you guys grow. I just want to help you guys win. I hope this encourages you, fires you up, motivates you, whatever it takes to go on out there and make today your best day ever, man. Today is a great day to have a great day. Amen. All right. Over now, guys. We love you. We appreciate you. And we'll catch up with you guys here on the next one.
Winter is fast approaching, and if there's one thing lawn care pros know, preparation is key. Whether you're handling commercial or residential services, securing your snowplow contracts now is crucial. And here's the best part. Our contracts have just been updated. Locking in your contracts now stabilizes your winter income, letting you plan and allocate resources with confidence. Get immediate access to the Snowplow Contracts Bundle training program today at launchpreneuracademy.com. Our updated structured contracts show that you're serious about delivering top-notch service. Whether it's a commercial property or a residential driveway, you're giving clients the peace of mind they deserve. And of course, stay ahead of the competition. With flexible contract options, per push or seasonal prepay, you'll be the go-to provider in your area. Serving large businesses or individual homeowners, we've got you covered. If you're ready to elevate your winter services, head over to Launchpreneur Academy and secure your updated snowplowing contracts now. And yes, they include free lifetime updates. Don't wait for the first snowflake. Get started today and make this your most profitable winner yet. Visit launchpreneuracademy.com and we've provided a link in the podcast description.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.